Here we go.
Put your hands together for the Joe Gransden Quartet! Thank you. How you doing? Everybody okay? You sigh, the song begins. You speak and I hear violins. It's magic. The stars desert the skies and rush to nestle in your eyes. It's magic. Without her golden wand or mystic charm, fantastic things begin when I am in your arms. When we walk hand in hand, the world becomes a wonderland. It's magic. How else can I explain those rainbows when there is no rain? It's magic. Why do I tell myself these things that happen are all really true? When in my heart I know the magic is my love for you. When we walk hand in hand, the world becomes a wonderland. It's magic. How else can I explain those rainbows when there is no rain? It's magic. Why do I tell myself these things that happen are all really true? When in my heart I know the magic is my love. Thank you very much. How are you feeling tonight? Here you are at the Velvet Note. You like the Velvet Note? Fantastic. So glad you all came out tonight to hang out with us for our first set. We are thrilled to be here. I brought with me the greatest musicians I know. I know you're going to love them. You already love them. You've been checking them out. This is Chris Burrows on the drums. Please say hi to Chris Burrows. And on the piano over here, you should have seen him trying to get this piano out of his Honda Civic, but he got it in here. This is Dr. Jeff Hayden. How about it for Dr. Jeff Hayden? And on the bass tonight, very special to have him here. If you happen to remember, maybe about a month ago, he was featured in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. A whole page just on him and his career here in Atlanta as the top bass player, one of the top bass players in the country. That's Neil Starkey. How about it for Neil? Lots of music planned for you tonight, and we're going to kind of go through the kind of the history of jazz and play all kinds of different things. Some stuff from Louis Armstrong. We might do a Sinatra tune or two if that's okay. And but we're going to continue with something from Cole Porter. I'm a big fan of Cole Porter's music, and I learned this song not too long ago. I have this 17-piece big band here in Atlanta, and we got to play at Lincoln Center in New York City this past summer. We got invited by Wynton Marsalis to play at Dizzy's Jazz Club at Lincoln Center. So I asked my arranger in the band. His name is Wes Funderburg. I said, Wes, can you write a brand new arrangement for us to premiere in New York City at Dizzy's? And he said, yeah, what do you want to do, Joe? I said, I don't care. I just want you to do something that you want to do for the band. You know what we can do and what we can't do. Just put something together. So he said, okay. A few months went by, and he said, I'm working on it, but I don't really have it together yet. And this happened over the course of about 6 months. Finally, it's a week before the trip to New York. I said, do you have that chart? He said, no, but I'll have it by the time we get there. I said, all right, man, we're going to New York City. Wynton invited us. We cannot mess up. We got to sound good. And we got to New York City, and at soundcheck, he pulled the chart out, and we didn't even get a chance really to rehearse it because soundcheck was cut short. And so now it's time for the concert, and he pulls the music out. It's on everybody's music stand, and I'm in New York City, and behind, if you've ever been to Dizzy's at Lincoln Center, behind you is this window that's the size of the building, and it overlooks Central Park. And here's the chart, and I announce it to the crowd, and the chart that we premiered in New York City is called I Love Paris. So I didn't really specify to Wes that we'd like a New York chart. That would be nice. So anyway, we played it and we loved it, and we hope to record it this year, but we think it's really fun to do, and we like to have Neil Starkey kick this one off for us. Keep that going now. I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the fall. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment, every moment of the year. I love Paris. Why do I love Paris? Because my love is near. Come on, Chris. I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the fall. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. And I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment, every moment of the year. Hey baby, I love Paris. Why do I love Paris? Because my love is near. Let's go. I love Paris in the springtime. Where's my snaps? I love Paris in the fall. Yeah. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. And I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment, and now every moment of the year. Baby, I love Paris. Oh, I love Paris because my love is because my love is. Because my love is near, yes, is near. Do you like that? Neil Starkey on the bass. Woo-wee. Are you familiar with City Lights? Lois writes this. Do you listen to City Lights on public radio, WABE? Lois is just a fantastic human being, one of my favorite people. She called me not that long ago and she told me that her radio show that she does, City Lights, the music that they used for the beginning and the ending of the show, Dave Brubeck, they could no longer use it because of some kind of contracts and royalties and all this stuff. And she said, maybe there's something that you have that you've written, Joe, that maybe we could use, you know? So this was a voicemail that she left on my voicemail, and she said, you know, we would play it every day, beginning of the show, ending of the show, and then in the middle of the show when we're introducing segments. So I got the voicemail, I went right in the other room to see my wife, and I said, we're rich. She said, what do you mean? I said, we're gonna be rich. She said, hi, so this is Lois, it's the beginning of the show, the end of the show, the middle of the show, we're rich, go buy something, what do you wanna get, you know? So we went through the whole thing, and I said, okay, let me see if I can find something. So I dug out all my original music, and I mean, I just got them all out. And I said, which would be best? And there's only 3 of them, so it didn't take me that long. And I found a song that I thought would be good, and it's called The First Time. And I sent it to Lois, and she loved it, thank goodness. And she sent it to the producers, and they loved it. So now, anytime you hear that show, that's my band and my music and my song playing at the beginning. That's right. And at the end, so the bad part, sad part of the story is that I don't get paid for it. Public radio, you know, what are you gonna do? But that's okay. I'm happy to continue being a jazz musician, making 18 grand a year. It's beautiful. So we would like to play for you now, The First Time. Does anybody listen to that show? Have you heard that show before, City Lights? You hopefully will recognize this song. If I can remember how it goes. Chris Burrows, Neil Starkey, and Dr. Jeff Hayden. You like that song? Hey, tonight we're celebrating the release of my new CD. Yes, I made a CD. Nobody has a CD player in the world, and I went ahead and made a CD. Who's got a CD player left? Oh, man. All right, y'all better buy one. We got them with us. This is myself and Kenny Banks. This is kind of a follow-up to our Dichotomy CD, which was fantastic. It just sold really well. It went copper. Yeah. So it's a nice CD, and it was a lot of fun to make, and I just found out that they're featuring it on Seriously Sinatra XM Radio, which is a big deal for us. So we have them in the back. If you'd like, grab one. We are going to do a song off that right now. And I think we have a little, if there's a sound man back there, a little buzz happening, a little, what am I trying to say? A little feedback in the bass, if we can get that. It's a C. Everybody sing that note. Lord. You got rid of it? Almost. It's actually the start of the next song. Okay, that's okay. We're going to keep going. This is kind of a nice song because a friend of mine gave me a phone call. He's in the military, and his girlfriend's in the military. And he's here, and she's overseas. And he said, I'm going to propose to her, and I want you there with me. I know that sounds a little weird. I said, what are you talking about? He says, we're going to Zoom call her. She's overseas, and I'm going to propose to her, and then I want you to sing this song to her on the Zoom call. I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And it was really kind of romantic, and I sang the song first. He wanted me to sing the song first, and then when it was done, in the Zoom call, he got down on his knees and he proposed to her. She said no, so that part sucked, but it was still a cool song. So this is kind of how it went. So I enjoyed the song, and I hadn't learned it up to that point, so I decided to put it on this new recording, and I found out they played it today on Seriously Sinatra Radio. So let's hope I remember the lyrics. Jeff and I'll just do it up till the bridge. So this is what I had to say to this girl. What are you doing the rest of your life? The north and south and east and west of your life. I have only one request of your life. That you'll spend it all with me. All the reasons and the rhymes of your day, all the seasons and the times of your day. Let the nickels and the dimes of your day all begin and end with me. I want to see your face in every kind of light, in fields of gold and shadows of the night. When you stand before the candles on a cave, let me hear the silent wish you made. Those tomorrows waiting deep in your eyes. In that world of love you keep in your eyes, I'll awaken what's asleep in your eyes. It may take a kiss or two. Through all of my life, summer, winter, spring, and fall of my life, all I ever will recall of my life is all of my life with you. Come on, Neil. summer, winter, spring, and
Hey, Joe, she said yes again.
she said she
You're
did
about
say
500.
Okay, all right, good. Well, we'll get that mic going again. Back on? Okay, all right, good. You having a good time? Yeah. Last night we did something in honor of Louis Armstrong, and my friends that came tonight asked if we would do that again. Are you Satchmo fans? Do you like Louis Armstrong? Do you recognize? Remember the voice he had? Can anybody do that voice, ma'am? Can you do that voice? Remember he had that real raspy kind of voice, and then when he played the trumpet, he had that particular sound he had on the horn that nobody can really emulate, just the greatest sound. So I grabbed this from the bathroom here. This is a plunger, right? And I washed it, I promise you. But this is what Louis would do. He would kind of put it on the end here, and he kind of started this whole vibe, and out and in and like that, and it would cause this kind of effect. So you've heard that sound before. Yes. If you combine that with like when you were a kid, you would get sick and you'd have to gargle. Your mom would make you gargle. If you do that through the horn with this, you get this vibe. Really kind of a cool sound, right? So let's do something in Louis Armstrong style for you. Come right in. Then you go like this. Summertime and the living is easy. Oh, it's gonna hurt tomorrow. All the fishes be jumping. They all jumping. The bass player likes to get high. Yes, your daddy's so rich. Yes, he's rich. And your mom, she's so good looking. Now, if you know the song, sing this part like Louis with me.
So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Thank you very much.
Hey, we'll fly down, we might drive down to New Orleans.
Baby, don't you know the city had lots of pretty
Historic scenes. Well, I'll take you, I'll parade you right down Bourbon Street. Now we'll see all the hot shots and check out all the big shots right there on Bourbon Street. Come on, Jeff. Clap with me like this now. we'll fly down, we might drive down to New Orleans. Well, that city had lots of pretty, historic scenes. Baby, I'll take you, I'll parade you, now right down Bourbon Street, where we'll see all the hot shots and check out all the big shots right there on Bourbon Street. How about it again for Chris? And Jeff playing that New Orleans piano over there. And of course, the great Neil Starkey. Are you having a good time? We mentioned this last night as well. Anytime you get to play in a wonderful club that's got a grand piano, you got to do something more than just play some jazz on it. Jeff happens to be one of the top classical musicians in the country, and he's performing soon with the Portland Symphony Orchestra, and he's going to play for you right now. That's right. Give it up for Jeff. Just because he's got this wonderful piano, we thought we would turn this into a symphony hall just for one song and feature Jeff on something from Chopin. How's that sound? Give it up for Dr. Hayden. Dr. Jeff Hayden, ladies and gentlemen. I need your help with this one for sure. You got a part you need to sing. Did you hear about it? That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, then you get shot down in May. I know I'm gonna change my tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. Funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks from stomping on a dream. I won't let it get me down, because this great big world keeps spinning round and round. I've been a puppet, pauper, pirate, a poet. I've been a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself flat on my face, pick myself up, I get back in the race. Well, that's life, I won't deny it. Thought about quitting, but my heart just wouldn't buy it. If I didn't think it was worth one single try, I would jump up on a big bird and I'd fly. Yes, sir. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet. I've been a pawn and a king. I've been up and down, over and out. And I know one thing, every time I find myself flat on my face, now I pick myself up, I get back in the race, because that's life. Well, I can't deny it, I thought about quitting, but my heart just couldn't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking come this July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a big bowl Thank you very much. We hope you had fun. Dr. Jeff Hayden, Dr. Jeff Hayden. How about it for Neil Starkey, Neil Starkey, Neil Starkey. Come on now. The great Chris Burrows. Give it up for Chris Burrows. My name's Joe Gransden. Thank you very much. We hope you had a good time. Thank you.
Hello. How about that? Yeah. On a Saturday night. Oh, we love having him here. We love having you here, and we'd love to have you again. You can find all of our upcoming shows at thevelvetnote.com. I want to make mention of the fact that next month, April, is National Jazz Appreciation Month. I know. Now for me, every month is National Jazz Appreciation Month. But I want to tell you that we're doing something very special here at the Velvet Note. A few things. And one is on Thursday nights, before our open mic jam session, so between 5:30 and 6:30, we're going to open our doors to the general public free of charge. Oh, wow. And every Thursday night session will feature a jazz luminary from our local area doing a session on what is jazz. Now this is a session for people who like jazz, for people who can't stand jazz, for people who live with someone who can't stand jazz. And it's designed to help you to understand what jazz is and what it's not, and hence give you more of an appreciation for jazz. Now, I'm giving you a gift. It's free. The only thing I ask is that you have something to eat or drink while you're here. There's limited seating, so when you see the announcements go up, get your reservations. And if you're not interested in that session, just come and visit us in the month of April. And that'll let us know that you appreciate us too. This is really what we love to do. To bring you closer to artists who inspire you, closer to each other, and closer to the song that's in your heart. Come and see us again. Good night.
Man, that was rude.
And welcome to another sold out night at the Velvet Note! You're going to make me do that again, aren't you?
Yes.
All right. We're going to do it again for the guy on the sofa. Welcome to another sold out night at the Velvet Note! Much better. The Velvet Note's a place where you can see and hear world-class musicians in a setting that's as intimate and as comfortable as your very own living room. We give you a chance to get to know the musicians and to hear the music the way that it was meant to be heard. This is a listening room. We had our acoustics designed by a protege of the Hollywood director George Lucas, under his guidance, to be the highest quality, unenhanced sound available today. We've been here 10 and a half years. Woo! Strategically sandwiched between a sub shop and a Brazilian wax salon. And last year, we won our 7th consecutive award for being one of the top 100 jazz clubs in the world. We love having Joe Gransden here. He's from upstate New York. He's got that New York sass to him. Uh-huh.
Who else has it?
Who else has that New York sass? I don't know. He plays trumpet and sings, but not at the same time. And, you know, one of the things that I think is most extraordinary about him is the fact that despite the fact that you'll see him hanging out with this celebrity or that celebrity, he has the type of heart and the type of personality that makes you feel like he's your friend. And that's always the case, no matter when and where he sees you. And he's bringing a swinging good time to the Velvet Note tonight. Swing, that type of jazz that makes you want to dance and dance and dance. And not too far. But if you feel the spirit, please do. He has an extraordinary band of gentlemen we have so much respect for. Mr. Chris Burrows on drums, and Dr. Jeffrey Hayden on piano, and the great Neil Starkey on upright bass. So I just want you to know one more thing before we get started. We have pie. Key lime pie. Topped with cocoa whip, honey roasted pistachios, and kiwi lime reduction sauce dripping down both sides. And put your hands together for the Joe Gransden Quartet!
Love it, love it, love it.
How about it for Tamara? Come on. You ready to swing a little bit? Come on, we need some energy. Who's ready to swing? How's the sound out there? Is it all right? Yeah. We are excited to play for you guys. This is like a crazy drinking crowd. I like that. You like Tony Bennett?
Yeah.
We're not doing any Tony Bennett tonight. Here's Tony Bennett. You sigh, the song begins. You speak, and I hear violins. It's magic. The stars desert the skies and rush to nestle in your eyes. It's magic. Without her golden wand or mystic charms, fantastic things begin when I am in your arms. When we walk hand in hand, the world becomes a wonderland. It's magic. How else can I explain those rainbows when there is no rain? It's magic. Why do I tell myself these things that happen are all really true? When in my heart I know the magic is my love for you. Dr. Jeff Hayden on the piano. When we walk hand in hand, the world becomes a wonderland. It's magic. How else can I explain those rainbows when there is no rain? It's magic. Drinking crowd. Why do I tell myself these things that happen are all really true? Now, if you ever seen Tony Bennett in concert, all these ballads end like on a big high, drums and all that, right? And he got that big, beautiful voice, right? So let's just see if we can do that. We haven't rehearsed this. We're just going to try it. When in my heart I know the magic is my love for you. Right? How you doing, Velvet Note? You okay tonight? Come on, I need more energy than that. Are you feeling good? We are happy to be here. We are wonderfully, wonderfully excited to play in this wonderful venue. We all live here in Atlanta, but we're from all over the country. We live here now, and we get to play in this beautiful club. You got to give it up for Tamara and everybody here at the Velvet Note. This is the last set of our two-night engagement here. We did 2 sets last night. We did a set earlier this evening, and this is the last set. Everybody on stage has had drinks and Oxycontin. So we're all feeling fantastically well, and we're excited to be here. We're just going to cut loose tonight. This last set is always fun because I already got paid between, so I can do whatever I want at this point.
You know when Sonny gets split?
Do I know that song? Yeah, I do. For $100, I will perform that song for you. Oh, you went right to you, right? And you said, shit, I haven't had $100 since 1987. We are very happy to be here, and we want to make sure that you meet these musicians because they are by far the best musicians that I can get for this kind of money. I mean, these guys right here, they are the best. And I want you to say hi, please, to the wonderful Chris Burrows on the drums. And on the piano over there, that's Dr. Jeff Hayden. How about a nice hand for Dr. Jeff Hayden? And on the bass, I said this last night, I'll say it again. He was featured recently in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. He had a whole page written about him, about his career here in Atlanta. What year did you get here?
1969.
1969, he moved to Atlanta, and he's the top bass player in the entire music scene here for that many years. Neil Starkey. And I want you to do me a favor now. I want you to, halfway through the show, remind me that I have to do a very special birthday for a friend of mine who's here tonight, because I want to make sure that I do the right thing. And like I said, Oxycontin. So, no, I did not take Oxycontin. Would never do that. Cocaine. It was cocaine. Just a little bit. It was only a little bit. It was only a little bit. No, I didn't do any cocaine. I had a gummy. Like it was like a. Anyway. Neil is so fantastic at the bass that we thought we would do this next song and just let him play a little bit up front. This is something that Cole Porter wrote, and I love this song. I Love Paris. This is called I Love Paris, and it features Neil Starkey. How about it? Make him feel good, man. Keep that going. Ready?
Yeah.
I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the fall. Yeah. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment of the year. I love Paris. Why do I love Paris? Because my love is near. Here comes Chris and Jeff. I love Paris in the springtime. Oh, that feels good. I love Paris in the fall. Yes, I do. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles, and I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment, oh, every moment of the year. Baby, I love Paris. Why do I love Paris? Because my love is near. That's what the bass should sound like, right? Neil Starkey. I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the fall. Yes, I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. And I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment of the year. Well, baby, I love Paris. Oh, I love Paris because my love is because my love is because my love is near. Well, she's near. A big hand for Neil Starkey now. (1969) he got here to Atlanta, right? How many years ago was that? It's a long time ago. You weren't even born yet. I wasn't even born. You weren't even thinking about being born. Bright kid. 1969, man. Neil's been around forever, and he's played with everybody in the business. He played with Chuck Mangione at one point. He's played with everybody, and he swings so hard. He plays in the big band. And tonight is his birthday. He's 108 years old tonight, and we want to give him a round of a. No, I know. People get so mad at me because I make fun of Neil's age on stage, and people get very upset. But I promise you can't hear me, so it's fine. It's totally cool. One more time for Neil Starkey, the great Neil Starkey. So we would like to play a song for you now that I wrote. This is an original composition, and this was something this is the first song I ever wrote in my life. And recently, if you're familiar with WABE and Lois Reitzes and City Lights, she's one of my heroes. She's one of the greatest radio interviews that I know, and I know her very well. And she called and left a voicemail on my recording, and she said, Joe, our feature music that we use to bring in our show and to bring out our show by Dave Brubeck is no longer available because of royalties and contracts and all that. And I was hoping that maybe you might have something that you wrote that we could perform, we could play every time we start our show, every time we end our show, every time we bring on a new guest. It'll happen Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. forever. Would you have something that we could use for this? So, I'm thinking royalties, right? I'm thinking. So I got that message and I went right in the other room where my wife was sitting there, and I said to my wife, "We're rich." She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "We're rich. We're rich." And I played her the message and I said, "Go buy something. What do you want to buy? Anything you want to buy?" Anyway, I went through my arsenal of original compositions that I had recorded. I went through everything, and it took me like 8 minutes because there's only 3 songs. But I found one that I really liked, and I sent it to Lois, and she loved it. Man, she absolutely loved it, and she sent it to the producers, and they loved it as well. And so that's what they use now every time that her show starts. The song is called "The First Time," and it was the first song I ever wrote. And thank you to Lois, because I get all this wonderful exposure. I don't get paid for it now. It's public radio, right? But that's okay. I'm cool making $17 grand a year. It's fine. Would you like to hear the song though? Yeah. Does anybody listen to Lois's show? All right, so you might recognize this. All right. All right, here we go. I need your snaps again because that oxytocin. 1, 2, 3. You like that song? What do you think of Dr. Jeff Hayden? Neil Starkey? And of course, Chris Burrows. All right, before we play this next song, we have to do a very special happy birthday to my friend who's sitting right here in front getting ready to record. Are we recording yet? My friend Kathy, it's her birthday is actually when? April 1st. But I won't be around, so we want to celebrate her birthday tonight because she comes out and she supports the band everywhere we play. She's always coming out and she's always hanging out and buying us drinks and giving us drugs and all that. It's really fantastic. She's a wonderful, wonderful supplier of all the great shit that we all need up here. And we love her, and we hope that she has many more birthdays so that we continue to thrive. That's all a lie, except for the drug part. All of that is a lie. It's fantastic. So it's your birthday coming up, and we want to celebrate your birthday. Now, you were here last night. You had the front row, and tonight you have the front row, and you got some friends with you. Long Island, right? You from Long Island? Yes, sir. How you doing? Everybody say, how you doing? So for your happy birthday, for your birthday song, we will do happy birthday, and we hope everybody will sing with us. But can we do it with kind of a New Orleans groove? Instead of the typical happy birthday, can we do it with a little vibe to it? Is that all right? All right, so this is Kathy right here. Everybody say happy birthday, Kathy. No. I told you, drugs. Say happy birthday, Kathy. Actually, I'm gonna let Chris set up the tempo. Check it out now. Man, that was so sweet. Kat, she just gave me a hug and she whispered in my ear, "What do you need?" She says she feels like JFK. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Her birthday's coming up, and my band and I have a private party, and we can't be there for her birthday, but really, when somebody like Kathy and other folks in town support my band or support the local jazz artists, for sure, it really makes a difference because, like I said, 17.5, 18 grand a year, we need the support that we get. You want to hear a good story, cool story, a nice story? A friend of mine called me recently and he said, listen, he's in the military and so is his girlfriend. And he's here and she's overseas. And he said, I want you to help me out with something. I'm going to propose to my girlfriend. And he said, I want you there with me. And I was like, that's a little freaky. I'm not sure I want to do that. He said, no, you don't get it. We're going to do a Zoom call and I'm going to pay you to sing a song to her and then I'm going to propose to her. I said, oh, that's a great idea, because he hasn't seen her in like 4 months and all that. And so he told me the song. I didn't know the song. I tried to learn it the best I could, and then the day came, and I sang the song to her as sweetly as I could, and she was very moved by it. And then in the Zoom call, he got down on his knees and he proposed to her, and so we want to perform that for you right now. Now, of course, she said no, which sucks, but that doesn't have the. No, she said yes. She said yes. But do you want to hear the song? No, it's a song that was written by Michel Legrand, and I didn't really know the song, and I'm not really. I'm very busy, man. I play a lot of golf, and I'm not going to just learn a new song. But the guy gave me like $1,000. I'm like, yeah, what key you want to learn? I'll learn it, right? So we're going to do this in G, and Jeff's going to set me up, and I'll show you what kind of happened on this Zoom call. All right, so this is what I had to do. It was very awkward, but I had a Speedo on, which was weird too. So I sang this to her. What are you doing the rest of your life? The north and south and east and west of your life. I have only one request of your life. Will you spend it all with me? All the seasons and the times of your days, all the nickels and the dimes of your days. Let the reasons and the rhymes of your days all begin and end with me. Now I'm gonna bring the band in, but I didn't have the band on the Zoom call. I want to see your face in every kind of light, in fields of gold and shadows of the night. When you stand before the candles on the cave, let me be the one to hear the silent wish you make. Those tomorrows waiting deep in your eyes. In that world of love you keep in your eyes. I'll awaken what's asleep in your eyes. It may take a kiss or two, through all of my life, summer, winter, spring, and fall of my life. All I ever will recall of my life is all of my life with you. It's a pretty song, isn't it? Come on, Jeff. Starkey. Well, through all of my life, summer, winter, spring, and fall of my life, all I ever will recall of my life is all of my life with you. You like that song? She did say yes, by the way. She did say yes. And right after she said yes, I said to her, "Do you need a band for the wedding?" Because we featured that song on my new CD. Now listen, I know nobody's got a CD player anymore, but I need some money, so if you can buy one of these things, man. They're at the door back there, and we just found out today that this record, this CD called The Art of the Song that I recorded with my friend Kenny Banks on piano, is being featured on Seriously XM, Seriously Sinatra Radio. So that's a really beautiful thing. That's a wonderful thing. I know that the CDs and that's kind of gone by the wayside, but if you buy one, man, it goes to support the cause for sure. They're back there at the desk, and that song is on there with some other wonderful songs. Anyway, that's the little post about the new record. I didn't want to bring a band of this caliber to the Velvet Note and really not let them cook. So this next song is going to start out with Chris Burroughs on the drums, one of the greatest drummers in the world. You ask him, he'll tell you. I thought that would get a bigger laugh. Anyway, Chris is fantastic, and he always starts off a song in the way that's appropriate for the song. We're gonna take something that Juan Tizol and Duke Ellington wrote called Caravan, and we're gonna let Chris turn it inside out, and the band's gonna kick it in, and we're gonna swing on this one. You ready for this? Put your seatbelts on. Make some noise now for Chris Burroughs. Make more noise than that for Chris Burroughs. the one and only Chris Boyles. Hey, we are having such a great time tonight. We're gonna do a couple more songs for you, but it's very no, a couple more. We're gonna do 2 more. This dude's like, 1 more. Jesus Christ, please, can we get out of here? They lock the door in the back. You're not leaving. It's rare at a jazz club that you get to go ahead, no, it's all right. It's all right. We're all family. Go ahead. What's she gonna say? 4 more songs. Oh, you want 4 more songs? We're not doing that. It's rare that you get to be in a jazz club where you have such a wonderful piano. A lot of times jazz clubs think they're jazz clubs and they have electronic pianos, which are not the worst thing in the world, but they're not real pianos. And this music was founded with real instruments, right? So Tamara and the folks here at the Velvet Note have gotten a real piano, a wonderful piano, and Jeff Hayden, Dr. Jeff Hayden, loves this piano, right? So it's appropriate now that we just take just a couple minutes and we bring the room way down to very quiet. We pretend we're in a symphony hall, and we give Jeff the stage so he can play something classical for you on this piano. So this is something from Chopin, and we got to bring it way down now. Actually, it just is, we put our hands together first of all for Dr. Jeff Hayden. And check this out. Dr. Jeff Hayden, come on now. Make some noise now. Did you have fun tonight? Can you sing one with me? Here we go. Did you hear about it? That's like. That's what all those people say. You're riding high in April, you get shot down in May. I know I changed my tune when I'm back on top in June. Sing now. I said that's life. Funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. I won't never let it get me down, because this big world keeps spinning round and round. I've been a puppet, pauper, a pirate, a poet, been a pawn and a king, been up, down, over and out. I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, pick myself up, get back in the race. Well, that's life. Can't deny it, that was a little weak. Thought about quitting, but my heart just wouldn't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking this July, jump on a big bird and I'd fly. Come on, Jeff. Y'all get up for Dr. Jeff Hayden now. Come on. I've been a puppet, pauper, a pirate, a poet, been a pawn and a king, been up and down, over and out. I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, pick myself up, get back in the race. That's life. Well, I can't deny it. Thought about quitting, but my heart just wouldn't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking this July, I gonna roll myself up in a big bowl. Take a big breath. Sing this note with me. Ready? Yeah, right. No, everybody in the room. Ready? Everybody, don't be shy. Oh shit! Except for you. You don't sing. Jesus. Pick a note, dude. Bunch of drunks. Die. Give it up for my man, ladies and gentlemen. Get on your feet now. Get on your feet. Stand up now. Give it up for these guys. You want to hear one more? And now the end is near, so I face my final bourbon. My friends, I'll say it clear, my drug dealer's here. She'll buy me a bourbon. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway. I want you to sing now, nice and solid. And more, much more than this. Come on. In a minute, I want you to get your phones out with your flashlights. I'll tell you when. Regrets, I've had a few. Then again, too few, too many. This guy's hammered. I love this guy. I did what I had to do. I through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. Everybody's got to sing now. And more, much more than this. Come on now. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, I love this guy. I spit it out, I faced it all, I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, laughed and cried. Get your cell phones out with the flashlight. My share of losing. Come on, make me look good. And now I want to feel like Adele or some shit. As tears subside, find it all so amusing. Everybody now, come on. To think, put your flashlight on, goddammit. I did it. What are you trying to save battery? And might I say, not in a shy way. Everybody now. Oh no, not me. Sing this part. Flashlights in the air now. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not. If to the things he truly feels, and of the wars of what a news, the record shows I took the blows. Thank you so much for supporting us at the greatest jazz club in the Southeast, the Velvet Note. Do not leave here without buying a CD, please. I gotta pay my goddamn rent. I did it, everybody. We'll see you next time. Good night. Thank you very much.